Going to the movie is a fun that can never really be replaced with anything else. I know people who say they prefer watching at home on their couch with their snacks, warming no marat, and maybe their cat sleeping beside them. But for me, it's different. The act of going to the theater, picking a seat, seeing the lights dim, the big screen lighting up, there's nothing like it. Especially if it's a movie I've never seen before, something completely new. It's that anticipation, that feeling of, I wonder what this movie will make me feel, and then leaving with your heart full of thoughts and your heart feeling something. In Surabaya, theaters are mostly inside malls, which makes sense because malls are where everyone hangs out here. You don't really have open street full-filled cafes or parks with little benches like in European cities. Here it's all inside. I usually went to Tunjungan Plaza or Galaxy Mall. They got the big theaters with Joe's giant screen, also the snack bar with the overpriced popcorn. Good, but buying it feels like they rob you. But if you got the money, it's a nice little treat. And sometimes the snacks are part of the experience too. But not all movies are playing at those theaters, especially if you like something like different like foreign films, indie films, or movies that aren't trying to sell millions tickets. That's when you have to look a little deeper, and that's when I found my favorite place. There's this spot in Ngagalkot Ifi or Institute France, Indonesia. From the outside, it looks nothing like a movie theater. In fact, it's kind of easy to miss it if you don't know what you're looking for. It's stuck inside what used to be an old furniture showroom, or maybe still is. I never checked. But somewhere inside that quirky mix, Ifi exists. It's a cultural center. They have classes if you want to learn French, or exhibition if you want to know about French stuff, or even little books reading and concerts sometimes. But what pulled me in was the movie screenings. They usually show French films, new ones, old ones, sometimes really artsy ones, and sometimes crowd pleasers. And the best part, it's cheap, sometimes even free. Imagine getting a free screening of a beautifully shot, emotionally layered film with subtitles and comfy seating. That's honestly a blessing in this economy. I go there quite a lot. Maybe not every single week, but enough that I started recognizing familiar faces. It's become a comforting little routine. A break from the noise of the city and the usual distraction. On one particular day, though, things were a little different. The usual screening room was booked for some event the next day, so they moved the movie screening to the Rotary. I've been there in this space several times before. It's quiet, filled with interesting books and comics, especially Tintin. The kind of place that smells like paper and carpet. It wasn't a big change, but it felt more intimate. Instead of rows of theater chairs, they bought some sofas and regular chairs and turned the library into a makeshift cozy little cinema. I showed up just before the screening started, enough time to find a good seat, but not too early that I'd sit there awkwardly waiting. And that's when I saw him, a guy I'd never seen before. He came in with his friend, or at least I assumed they were friends. They were talking much. He walked a little awkwardly, eyes scanning in the room like he was unsure if he was in the right place. He eventually settled in the front row. Now, I'm usually not the type of person who pay attention to people around me. I'm there for the movie, but something about him caught my eye. Maybe because I know most of the regulars and he clearly wasn't one. Or maybe it was the way he didn't look around much. He didn't explore the room, didn't check out the books or the poster on the wall. Maybe it was his first time here, or maybe he was just nervous. I get it. New places can feel weird. The movie that day was a French drama about a young Muslim immigrant. It was heavy. It dealt with identity, racism, and the struggle trying to fit into a place that keeps telling you don't belong. The main character didn't want to be seen as a Muslim, didn't want to work in a cemetery, but had no choice. If he didn't take the job, he'd get deported. It was one of those films that make you think. Slow, quiet, but full of emotion. I love it. And him, the guy in the front row, he was clearly feeling it. I could see it even from a few seats back. His eyes never left the screen. He leaned forward slightly like he didn't want to miss a single frame. And towards the end, I heard it. Sniffles. He was crying. His friend didn't react, didn't hand him tissue, didn't pat him on the back. They just sat there like strangers. Like the moment the movie started, their friendship went on pause. But his crying continued even after the credits started rolling. He wasn't sobbing or anything, but the kind of quiet, personal crying that felt bigger than it looks. And in that moment, it felt like the movie reached him in a way that it couldn't reach anyone else. After it ended, people started leaving. Some stayed to stretch, some talk about the film, but the guy stood up quickly and left. I didn't even see him by the parking lot. Maybe he felt embarrassed, maybe he didn't want anyone to notice, but I noticed, and I kept thinking about him long after I left. Maybe he saw himself in the character, maybe he's dealing with something similar, or maybe the film reminded him of someone who knows. Maybe movies do that. They dig into your past, poke into your emotion, show you things you didn't know needed to see. I've cried at movies before, it's not new, but seeing someone else cry, someone who looked like they tried so hard to hold it in, hit different. I haven't seen him again since. Maybe it was really a one-time visit, or maybe he's been coming into different ways than I do. Either way, he became part of that memory. A face I don't know, a story I'll never get to hear, but a presence that makes screening stick in my head longer than most.